And then we wait for the commercials and they didn't come. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay. Oh, I should tweet the Rimmon. Not that anybody cares. I'm gonna stream a placements. Streaming placements. And trying not to rage. So, shall we? Wait. Did Dallas win? No, they got wrecked. Never mind. Damn it. And I didn't even want. Oh my god, I am so pissed. My fantasy team is so fucking. No, I'm doing placements. I'll just do one quick play so I feel better about myself. I warmed up a little bit, but I can warm up a little more. See, I want to be less boring, more exciting, less boring, but
traveling
to
Mumbai. Prepare to
only because I don't have anybody else to talk to.
Select your hero.
I could like tell my story like I used to. I did that one time. I should, but I need to like write it down. Should I heal? Let's do it, but let's write it down, shall we? Okay.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
Let's go with I don't know. Let me start with a story. Let me open a book real quick, just to start us off. So, all right. Welcome to the big game.
My will made real.
All right. Random story time. Story time. So there once was a man who's from Tahiti. Someone could Google Tahiti and tell me exactly where it is. That'd be great. So this man was from Tahiti. But he wasn't Tahitian. He was actually Croatian. And he had a knack for bodybuilding.
5, 4.
I'm writing this down, so forget. Okay, it's my random story. So the Tahitian Croatian man was a bodybuilder who thought, who thought of himself as the Grand Poobah. Oh wow, I got that. Which is the wrong. Where does that? Puma? Grand Poobah? Oh, this isn't working. Good. You're good too. Oh, good. You're good. You're dumb. You can't. Poobah. Yep. I don't know why we're doing that. Grand Poobah.
I've come back from worse.
But anyways, so because he thought of himself so highly, he thought he could bench press a tractor. Would you? Oh my god. Fuck you. You. Oh dear god. Jesus.
Get in there.
Who did I? Oh. I'm dead. She didn't have her ult, did she? I think she had her ult. Anyway, so he tried to bench press a tractor, and he actually went back to Croatia. I got you. You're up there. Nope, dead. So I went to bench press a tractor back in Croatia, and it was like a classic tractor, you know, because the farmlands of Croatia. Because, you know, the farmlands of Croatia have lots of giant tractors, because they like to harvest. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You're lucky. I had no idea that I was, I had a venom mine on me. So anyway, so he went to Croatia. This is their longest story on the planet. Why? Don't you have a life?
60 seconds.
This will help.
Join.
What's up there? Go. I keep you here. Attack the objective. Sniper, be careful.
Oh, hit the fucking sign. Okay. So. Oh, I'm so dead. Hello. So anyways, so the Tahitian Croatian Bodybuilder
10 seconds remaining.
went to Croatia with his wheat fields and challenged everybody in the land to lift this tractor because he said he could. So he went to I'm gonna play quick play because that was so fucking terrible. So he ordered everybody throughout the land, and by the way, I just mean the land of Croatia and Tahiti. Yes, he invited everybody from just Tahiti and Croatia. Always. Eric said I was boring, so I have to liven it up a little bit. Eric, if you were listening, this is your fault. So anyways, the only problem is it's taking me 1,000 years to tell a story because of the game. But anyways, so they're in Croatia with Tahitians and Croatians, and there's a stark difference between Tahitians and Croatians. I'll let you Google it. But anyways, so he goes up to a tractor. It's a big shindig. The Prime Minister of Croatia, I think I got that right, gives everybody the day off to go watch this surprising foundation of a day in the life of Croatia. So they go out to the wheat fields that haven't been rolled yet, and they move. The Prime Minister himself drives one of the tractors, and the Queen of England, who is not Elizabeth at the moment. This is in the future. This is way in the future. It's the Queen of England is
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
who knows who it is at the moment. I forgot who's in the next in line. You have, I don't even think it's the Queen. But anyways, so you have the Queen of England who drove the next one because she thought, hey, I'm going to take the day off too, even though it's not my fucking country. So anyways, she drove a tractor because her lineage delineates from the rice paddies in Nova Scotia.
Attackers incoming.
And
30 seconds.
so they drive the tractors, both same size, and they drop them off into the wheat field. The farmer, the owner of the wheat field, actually comes out and screams his head off because his beautiful wheat just got run over by 2 tractors that aren't even his. And so while he's barking up a storm with the Prime Minister, the Queen decides to take it upon herself to start the shindig.
Attackers
So
incoming.
the
Defend
bodybuilding,
objective A.
oh, I need to actually like DPS. The bodybuilder Tahitian Croatian man decides well,
They have been revived.
Much obliged.
So anyways, so fuck, where was I? Oh, so the Queen of England, who was not Elizabeth, decides to start the shindig. Oh, I want that healing. And oh fuck. I can't hit shit. Peek for me. He hates me. Okay. I need healing.
I need a doctor. Thank you, kind.
I should not have dropped. That was dumb. I was trying to avoid the tracer. Launch. That's me running away from the tracer. So,
Back into
the Tahitian Croatian bodybuilder goes out to the field, and he walks around the tractor a couple times trying to figure out how he's actually going to commit to what he just fucking said. And I mean, he's really good at what he does.
It's time.
Fuck. So he commits to it, and he finds a nice spot underneath, and he crawls underneath, and he lifts from the bottom, and lifts from the
It ain't my time.
from the body of the tractor, and he takes a couple seconds, but he huffs and puffs and grunts. Woo! Okay. So he huffs, he pumps, and he
Much better.
lifts it up. This all this weight. Damn. So he lifts it up. Quite struggle busting.
Never uneventful.
No, it was not a bust though. And the save. Tracer is not really good. I'm just really fucking bad. Where is he? Wow. Wow. Wow.
Well,
Wow. That's what happens when you like hear his footsteps and you wonder out where the fuck he went. He just stopped. So he lifts it with all of his might, and he's able to show everybody that he was not a liar. And they would, oh. I think I did that wrong. So everybody cheers, and the Queen of England is highly impressed, and
take more.
FYI, the Queen's single, so she's just like fawning over this thing right now.
The payload
Because,
has
oh my
reached
god, who
the
wouldn't want a Tahitian Croatian bodybuilder that can lift a fucking tractor, right? Like that's like dream quality man right there for the Croatians, right? So...
It's hand.
God damn it, you guys. Just finish them off.
I'm ready to start the blizzard.
Guys, can you do anything? I know I'm doing absolutely fucking terrible. I'm trying to tell the story here. So the Queen walked up to him and was like, "Hey, you single?"
payload is approaching its destination.
Well, that's a...
Defeat.
And it was like, "Hey, are you single?" And he goes, "For the right person." And she's like, "Well, that's rude. I'm the fucking Queen of England." And she said fuck because, you know, it's 2057 and all rulers can say the F word like it's, you know, chocolate pudding. So anyway, so they're talking, and the Prime Minister finally gets done with his stupid argument with the farmer and ends up paying him like 300 Croatian dollars for the ruined wheat. Oh, you missed the story? Okay, I haven't really... the story is not very long. I'm talking about, there was a man from Tahiti who is actually Croatian, and he's a bodybuilder that wants to prove his worth, and so this is a recap. And so he's in Croatia because he invited all Croatians and Tahitians for a bodybuilding match to lift a tractor. And the Queen of England is there, who is not Elizabeth because it's 2050, unless she lives forever, so that actually might be true. But anyways, and the Prime Minister got in a fighting match with the farmer of the field that the bodybuilding tractor lifting is taking place. Because it was his wheat that they were destroying with the tractors and the lifting and the crowd, and all of the Croatians took the day off, and the Tahitians flew out for it, and it was all it's a big shindig. Okay, so the bodybuilding man, let's call him Iago. Okay, his name is Iago. Okay.
Welcome to Jakarta.
So Iago and the Queen of England are like hitting it off, and they're like talking like they're like hot shit and all that good stuff. Boo! I was gonna do that. I don't want to heal because I want to not pay attention. That's perfect. I am not doing my placements yet. I should do my placements, but I'll do it after the story. I'm trying to practice. So anyways, so as Iago is hitting it up with the Queen of England, the Prime Minister stops his fighting. Purple, and decides that the show must go on because everybody's viewed and awed and very happy that, you know, but what's on the line is actually Iago's life. He actually signed a non-disclosure agreement with the Croatian Prime Minister, because the Croatian Prime Minister was actually not very happy with the whole deal.
In 30 seconds.
Because he had to, you know, order everybody to take the whole day off. And he's like, well, guess what? It cost your life to do this. So the Prime Minister's kind of upset and unhappy that that he actually proved his worth, because you know that's his life was on the line. Iago's, that is. So
4,
do we have
3, 2, 1.
one healer? Oh fuck. And two. That's oh fuck. Oh, I almost done. So, hey, we put the point while I was distracted. Snuggles left.
You won't get rid of me that easily.
Oh,
Stop this one before. Yeah, hello.
triggered. So, oh god. So the Prime Minister says, well, the festivities must go on because somebody has to challenge me. And so he orders the crowd to and asks asks if anybody thinks that they can beat Iago, and by beating that just means that can anybody else do it. God damn, that much. I can't because I'm gonna get because he could see me. I was like, how could he know that I was gonna do that? Yeah, because he could see me. Yeah.
Back for more. So the oh, was it? Let's see. So, oh, that was ours. So,
I keep actually like keep paying attention. Too much attention, sorry. How? Oh, she went down. Okay, I'm fucking tired of this.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
So the Prime Minister is like, can anybody else do it? And nobody's stepping up, And there's like a bunch of Tahitian kaleidoscope enthusiasts that are like, they think they can do it. Got him. They think they can do it. What you don't know is, I'll fucking wait here all day. That's fine. Oh, it's a fucking, like, just let him go. Like, he's not doing anything.
Saddle again. Now secure the payload. Let's move it out.
Just let him go. Like, he's not helping his team at all. Oh god. Oh my god! Still ends up killing me. So anyway, so the kaleidoscope enthusiasts from that were Tahitian. Tahitian?
We're at the beginning.
Observe the tractor and try to figure out how they're gonna lift it up. And so the funny thing is that they figured out that there was no rules to what they were gonna do, you know, like there was no
Play of the game.
there was no like, how am I allowed to lift it? The contest was lift the tractor. It wasn't, obviously it's a bodybuilding competition, so you must lift it with your body, but there was no regulations, no rules. So the kaleidoscope enthusiasts decide, they think they know what to do, but for some reason the tractor that they have, they can't get underneath it, whereas in the let me backtrack a little bit. The Iago, yeah, I said he got underneath, but he had to actually lift it up a little bit in order to get like positioned underneath. So it was like a gradual, like I lifted the front of the tractor and then I like tipped it so I could get underneath it and then lift the whole thing. So these guys could not do that. They were skinny little 4-foot Tahitian kaleidoscope men, who could see pretty well, but that's about all they had. So but there was a ton of them. There was like 50 of them. So they're like, we can fucking do this. And that's exactly what they did. They were able to take some oil from the tractor, lube themselves up, get inside the tractor, and one was actually able to, and they were able to position themselves within the bodyworks and frame of the tractor in the bits and pieces of each part of it, and they were able to lift it up. Now, so they lifted it up about, like, if Iago probably lifted it above its head, but the rules didn't state anything. The rules also didn't state that you could have like 50 people do it. So the Tahitian Kaleidoscopers lifted it like about a couple inches off the ground, and screamed for joy as Iago looks over and watches it happen, and he is shocked, and he's pissed because he's like, that's not fair. That wasn't. It's supposed to be one person. And so he says, hold on, Queen of Beautiful, and goes up to the Prime Minister of Croatia and is like, that's not fair. And the Croatian guy, who doesn't like him because he secretly wants the Queen of England, says, you had no rules. You're the one that invited everybody to this shindig, and you didn't actually establish any ground rules. So they are correct, and they are on equal footing with you, which is interesting. But anyways, because there was nothing, I don't know exactly was at stake at the time other than Iago's life. I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody or everybody knew that Iago was gonna die, or else they would have probably sabotaged his tractor. But anyways, so Iago is pissed and he's like, that's not fair, and he goes, okay, new rule. Find me in 3 weeks in Guatemala, and I'll have a new test for everybody. This time, only one person is allowed to do it. And he invited the whole world. This case, so he kisses the Queen of England, gets smacked with a $50,000 fine. Because he kissed the fucking Queen of England, gets hit with a $50,000 Croatian dollar fine, and makes his way back to training. Now he goes into hiding. Nobody knows where he went. People are looking all over in Croatia for him. The farmer is still crying over his crushed wheat.
Defend objective A.
Fuck. What is everybody doing? That is the farthest back I've ever seen a fucking group of quick players. So anyways, so he goes into hiding. People are searching for him. The Queen of England is distraught because nobody's heard from him in 3 weeks. So Jesus. The Prime Minister is happy because he thinks he's dead, and he's like, fuck you. By the way, it's Prime Minister of Croatia. So, in Guatemala, Guatemalans are basically trying to make sure that... Oh, okay. Okay. So the Guatemalans are basically trying to figure out what exactly they need for this test. Damn! I got him at least. He hates me too. No res? Bitch. So Oh! Well, they were in the corner. Oh god, I'm gonna die. So it's, oh Jesus. Damn it! I figured that Hanzo was gonna try to. So the Guatemalans are all like, the Guatemalan, SAR, because it's 2057, the Croatian SAR, decides to send out the search party, because he at least, needs to figure out what the fuck he needs. So, so we actually, so he sends out a search party. Gotta love scatter arrow. Come on, guys. I'm actually telling the story too. And puts up wanted, not necessarily wanted posters. Hey. What happens when you're trying to think of a story? So really bad, and even worse. Got him. So he puts up like, "Have you seen me?" posters as a boom. Kills family. You died? Are you kidding? Get on the point! Oh my god. So we put up "Have you seen me?" posters, wanted posters. The Guatemalan SAR decides to actually put not necessarily a bounty, but like a reward of 10,000 pesos. My god, I'm terrible. Oh my god. Got her.
Ever get that feeling, deja vu?
God. I can only distract them so much, guys. And get a couple kills. So anyways, so because there's like a $10,000 reward, Iago, being the selfish piece of shit he is, you know, there's just too much AoE and not in our favor. Nobody got a thing. Alright. So Iago decides to not necessarily turn himself in, but at least send a these are my demands letter. But he doesn't send it to the Guatemalan Tsar. He sends it to the Queen of England. And Iago, who is so full of himself and slightly weird, left like a nice little XO and like a nice lip gloss kiss on the note to her, and she fawned over it for days. And finally she's like, oh yeah, I should tell the Guatemalan Tsar. So I told the Guatemalan Tsar his demands, and his demands were he needed a I guess I'm not doing placements today. I'll just rename it later. And so he demanded a coliseum of sorts be built for a bullfighting competition, going back to the roots of Croatia. It was a very odd request. So, because they're like, bullfighting, like in Guatemala, how authentic. But that's weird. Why would he, as a bodybuilder for strength, why would he need whatever? And he says, throughout the world, he also said to bring your best bullfighter ever. And he goes, if I lose this competition, I will surrender myself to the Prime Minister, and he will do with me what he may. XOXO lip gloss. So the Guatemalans, being in Guatemala, are not very rich and can't really build a coliseum. So they tap into the local natives and the local surrounding countries, and they decide to make a nice, large bamboo coliseum, about the size of Qualcomm Stadium, aka Jack Murphy Stadium, aka SDCCU. Is that right? I don't know. If I can look it up. Stadium. As a coliseum. So it's about that big, but it looks like a coliseum. It's got, the nice classical bamboo look to it. So the date that was written on the letter was on a nice Friday night. And so the entire world gets together, and people are watching at home because they have the news cameras there, and in 20 different languages, and the Maltesian philanthropy group is trying to figure out how this is going to change the course of history, and the acrobats from Puerto Rico put on have the quote unquote start of the show, and doing some nice little acrobatics, and then the Australian hipsters are sitting outside protesting because everybody thinks it's a bullfight, and so they're protesting the cruelty of animals, and it's a big deal. The entire world is watching. Still no show of Iago. The Maltese acrobats. Was that correct? Might be getting them confused with somebody else. But... oh. Well, fuck you. We're not winning. Nope, I'm just gonna chill. Didn't know that interrupted. We didn't win this. So there's no sign of Iago. But the best, and they've decided to oh. So they brought 3 of the best
I am claiming the objective.
bullfighters in the world. Okay. So they just 3 though.
The objective is mine.
Wow.
It's my command.
They're doing something.
My blade is ready to be unleashed.
So they sent, so they don't know where Iago is. He's past time, so like, well, let's just like put him out. Well, that sucks. Okay, take it. You know what? That's stupid. That was the last one. I really didn't know. Also, the fact that my hook went through his body was kind of bullshit. So they send out the first one. The first one is the Burmese, right? Thank you. Burmese firefighter from the Algodones area. He's good at fighting fires, so I fucking hate doors. That sucks. And oh no, that's rude. I'm sorry. You know, I find it really weird if like I keep playing quick play, but every fucking enemy team is acting like they're playing comp because they're grouped, they stage their attacks, like it's just like the fuck. So Burmese guy walks out. feels bad, man. Nice. That was an ours, never mind. No, that's good. Wow, we took points. Quick play, man. So the Burmese firefighter is up, and he's got a hose with him, big red hose, because apparently in his off time he's the best bullfighter in Burmese. There we go. In Burma. Thank you. He's the best bullfighter in Burma, even though he's a firefighter. And he does so because he trips up the bull with the hose, and it's big, red, and dangerous, and all that stuff, right? Okay. So anyway, so he walks out into the arena, Coliseum, Bamboo Coliseum, and just to wait, but see, that one didn't. So he walks out, and oh, fucking step. Just look at my heels. That was the most unlucky thing ever. I just realized we only have one heal, and I need to. You're dead. So he walked out with his hose. We're gonna try. Oh, that was ours. I found. Darn. And so he's sitting there, he waits about 5 minutes, and the Queen of England's there, and she's got tears in her eyes. Because she wants to see her cute beloved. God damn it. Also, why? The fuck was he being insta-healed by? See that? I was wondering why he wasn't taking any damage. So, 5 minutes go by, and the bamboo gates open to where the bull's supposed to be. And he goes, oh, I guess we're starting.
Attack the objective.
Take the point real quick. Okay. And lo and behold, here's Iago. walking out of the they're hollow in the corner. This is bad, this is really bad. Where's my team? All of them are just fucking staring at the fucking middle. Dude, quick play, man. That's like... What?
Attack the objective. Meteor strike.
Oh my god.
Round 2. Loss.
Jesus. Yeah.
1 to 1.
Souling him. Well, he left, so. Anyways, Iago walks out, and everybody scratches their head because they're like, "What? We don't understand. Why is Iago? It's supposed to be the Burmese guy's turn." So everybody's hella confused.
3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture
What the
the
fuck
objective.
is going on? No, really though. Not enough heals. And Queen of England is fucking ecstatic. She's like, "Oh my god, it's my love of my life, even though I fined you $50,000 and your lip gloss smelled like shit." But why are you so lucky and where's my team? They're all dead. I don't know where my team is. They were all dead. So yeah, our other tank decided to shit. So that's see. Fucking owned. Whatever. Oh great, now they have a fucking... Why? Like, does it mean? Like... So everybody's ecstatic because they're finally, he's finally here and they're about to start the show and... So they ask him, like, what... I'm so confused. It, like, went... It didn't go on cooldown and what? So anyways, so Iago makes his grand entrance. He waves. You know, he's a little brawnier than he used to be. Like, he was still strong because he was a bodybuilder, but he's severely dirty. He's got a nice piercing through his nose, and everybody's super confused. I was trying to make a cool like jump, but I got stunned halfway through. Where is my?
It's high.
Nope. We're losing because I'm not paying attention. Oh hey. Yay? Oh, I'm Nigel Thornberry. So he's dirty, he's got a nice piercing. The Prime Minister is confused, but he's got his bodyguards at the ready. And the Guatemalan president is chewing on some sugar cane, just relaxing, looking at his handiwork, and doesn't really give two shits about everything. So Iago waves, gives a nice bow, and then he gets down and prays. He like gets on his knees, gets on his hands and knees, and he prays. And so everybody's like, "Oh, okay." And so they waited. And then he like looked up and he's like, "Well, what are you waiting for?" And the Burmese guy was like, "What?" And Iago was like, "Okay, fine. Are you ready?" Sure. So he gets his hose at the ready and looks at the gate for a bowl, or looks around behind him for a bowl, and there's no bowl, and he said, "Okay, here we go." And on all fours, Iago charges the Burmese man. And the Burmese man is so stunned, he has no idea what to do. There's this giant, brawny Tahitian Croatian bodybuilder cowering towards him on all fours. And he's like, "What do I do?" And he's like, I don't understand. And it finally clicked in everybody's mind that, guess what? Iago is the bull. So if somebody can defeat Iago, you defeat him entirely. Hashtag bullfighting in Guatemala. So the Burmese guy is like, "Oh shit, okay, I can do this." And he whips out his hose and he dashes to the side, like the nice his cape flares. The cape on his back, not his actual cape, but his cape that he's wearing flares, and he pulls over, he like whips his hose around and catches Iago by his left wrist and yanks it, and Iago does a nice little like 180 spin and crashes and like slides and hits the wall behind him, and the Burmese man is like, "Yes, already defeated, I win." And Iago laughs and rolls back and goes, "Haha." He goes, "That was funny." And he's like, "I'm not even phased." And he's like, so the guy's like, "Oh shit. That wasn't defeat, I guess." And Iago goes, no, defeat is when I'm dead." And it's like, So Iago raises himself again, gets down on all fours, looks up, pants heavily, and charges again. And the Burmese guy is now actually ready this time, so he readies his normal stance with his hose between his hands, in a lasso formation. We like switch spots. Got him. And guys, I have gold. I have gold even. So
My ultimate is charging.
起来吧。
guys, I fucking trapped him. There's no way there. They died behind me to who the fuck knows what.
This fight is not over yet. Ultimate is almost ready.
Огонь по готовности!
洗澡。
The objective is mine. Be quick about it.
The amount of work that I'm doing that my team is not doing. Like, I'm doing a lot of work for fucking May, like, let's be honest.
Back in the fight.
Granted, my entire team did just die after I ulted, so I guess that didn't help.
My ultimate is ready.
Attack the objective.
Огонь по готовности! Best round lost.
I can't seem to win a quick play game at all today. So anyway, so the Burmese firefighter,
To 1.
radios himself with his red hose clasped between his hands and whipping it like a lasso. Not exactly like a lasso because it's not in the shape of a lasso, but the end of it is a fire hose,
Enough waiting around.
hose bib, hose knob, whatever the tip of the hose is called. And it's like the high strength, like steel. Actually, I don't think it's made of brass. Probably made of brass. Heavy duty shit that he likes is swinging around, kind of like a mace, more like a mace
1.
or a flail,
2.
like a flail. Let's go with flail. So swinging around like a flail. Because he goes, okay, well, usually I use this to disorient, but instead I can, really? The fact that he still had the Zen Orb on him is fucking bullshit. Dude. So, usually he uses the tip of the hose, as a means of disorienting the bulls, but in this case he's gonna have to use it to knock him dead, basically, so. Yeah, you fucking suck. So do I. It's not one of those. I should go back to May, but I don't care.
Ça pique, n'est-ce pas?
Actually, I'm gonna go to fucking trees. Yeah.
Double kill.
I'm the problem, apparently. That sucked. Gooped him away.
Back into the mix.
I like how he complains about me sniping. Stop hitting him.
I am taking objective. Join me.
Огонь по готовности.
Oh, no. Okay.
Play of the game.
No, damn it. So he's flailing, yeah. And, so he decides he's gonna go on the attack. And so he whips out the hose, clean shot right to the, looks like a clean shot right to the head, just like, whoosh, zings it, flies through the air. But for some reason, Iago has, instead of bull-like reflexes, he's got cat-like reflexes, and he just full-on just like shoves all four legs, I guess, on the ground, like just lunges into the air like a cat, dives over, jumps over the hose just as it whiffs his chest and goes underneath him. And at that point, the Burmese man knew he was dead. Iago comes crashing down upon him, just instant annihilation, skull bashing, just done.
Justice will be done.
Dead, blood, just gore. Just turned into a really, really PG routine. Got him. You say stupid. Because he was trapped.
Experience oblivion. Braving not give up the fight.
My path has converged.
So Iago wipes off the blood.
Sniper.
Some people he hired comes and cleans up the dead body. Poor Burmese firefighter, no more. Okay. You guys are getting fucking wrecked.
Hello.
Yo, DPS. We haven't attacked him. Why do I even bother in quick play? Like, there's no practice in quick play. because you don't actually ever have like an actual team. I should just go straight to. If I want to practice, I should do no communication competitive. Right. So good. Teach me the ways of quick play. Teabagging bitch. Yeah, I figured.
Fire at will.
It's okay, I got Phil XP, right? So anyways, so they clean up the firefighter, and Iago walks back to the middle and gets on all fours, looks up at the Prime Minister of Croatia and goes, "Next." Or and whatever Croatian, next. So everybody's sweating, everybody's on edge, and everybody's rightfully scared. So since the Burmese guy is dead, and that was one of the best down. So the Prime Minister calls for the next combatant at this point. Not the next challenger, it's the next like combatant, and who is a who is a oh fuck, what is that country?
Traveling to Dorado.
No, yeah, because that one was from Burmese. That guy was Maltesian. How do I call this? Maybe I should heal. Just practice. Oh, New Guinea. He was from Papua New Guinea. So this Papua New Guinean man, who is very, very tall for a Papua New Guinean man, very tall, very lanky, was a seamstress. And he knew his way around yarn and rope, all that stuff. So once again, so he had a beautiful, beautiful, lavish cape, made of the finest New Guinean silk, made from Australian kangaroos fur, and it was nice and soft, and it packed a punch when he needed it to. And so he had that nice cape, and he had some fine snow left. And he had some nice rope made out of the flax seeds of Antarctica, because by this time the edges of Antarctica, due to what?
You're going to live.
There we go. Oh god. Don't die. Don't die. Come behind me. Fuck. I can't fucking. I fucking lived through that.
Get in there.
Shit. I'm dead. And oh my god, all the fucking reflected shit. And so he walks out, beautiful, tall, lanky man with a nice mustache, top hat. And rope made from the, what did I say? I forgot. From the flax seeds of Antarctica. Thank you. You know, fuck.
It's just a scratch. He'll be fine.
So he walks out, rope and all, and he's literally got.
You're powered up. Get in there.
So he's literally got a lasso. That fucking Genji hates me. So he's literally got a lasso, right? And how lucky is that? He hit just on the right point of the incline to make the simple geometry work. He is a piece of shit.
I'm not ready to.
Oh, thank God, that guy's on the other team. Oh, go fuck yourself. Aha.
My ultimate is ready. Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
أهلا. ازيك؟ ناخد بالي.
Oh my God. A niche. I can't.
You're powered up. Get in there.
That was a waste. We had it in the bag, but I'm okay. Really? Fucking kidding. Oh, it's not every day, fucking. Good. So, God, when we lose hard. So he's ready. He's willing. Oh, hi. These lasers. No, but really though, like, hey look, I'm asleep. The entire fucking team came after me, like, they were in comms or something. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
Old soldiers are hard to kill.
So Iago laughs because he's like this flamboyant, tall, whatever. He doesn't care, and so gets on his all fours. The seamstress pulls out his cape. The seamstress pulls out his dick, and Iago is severely stunned because he's like, "Oh my goodness." That is huge for a tall, lanky guy. And because he was so stunned at what he just saw, the seamstress grabs his flax lasso and throws it and wraps it around Iago's neck, pulls it tight. Iago's like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be fighting," but it's too late, and he's getting strangled. And because because the seamstress is also a master lassoer, he whips the rope just enough to where it wraps around Iago's chest. He yanks and he pulls, and Iago does a couple of spins in the air while still being strangled, and hits the ground. And the seamstress isn't strong enough to actually like pull him, so the seamstress rolls and dashes towards him, and Iago is on his back, being strangled and trying to grasp at the rope, which is so slippery because it's the flax seeds, because the flax of Antarctica is still cold, and so it actually feels kind of soothing on his neck, and so he's very confused while he's trying to get it off his neck, and then all of a sudden the seamstress is upon him.
Select your hero.
Ow! Ow! Ooh! Ow! So. Excuse me. So the seamstress comes upon him and wraps him up, and as he's choking and ties Iago's hands together and then ties his legs together, and pulls the rope even tighter around his neck, and is like, "I win this round, old boy," and thanks to him, and puts his foot on top of Iago's chest, like, "Haha, I won. I am the best." As Iago slowly suffocates. But what everybody doesn't know is that Iago wasn't gasping for air. He wasn't even choking. He was laughing because his neck is ticklish. And so when it got wrapped around his neck, he laughed, and the strength of his neck muscles kept him from actually being suffocated because he was laughing too hard. So Iago, still laughing, whispers, "Enough!" Or in Croatian, "Enough!" And where is he? Why are you over there? And And so with Iago laughing and the seamstress thinking that he has the upper hand, Iago, being slightly tied up though, all the while the Queen of England is frothing at the mouth like, oh my god, that thing is actually doing it right now. Well.
My ultimate is charged.
Oh! Where did he go? Wait. What? How can you jump off the map? What? So Iago's laughing his ass off at this point. Break. And oh god, don't die. Can't get you. You know, she's the only person I fucking res. And, so he's all tied up and bundled up and all that stuff, and he's laughing and he realizes, and, sorry, the, no, I don't want you, why are you down there? Literally the only person. Yeah, I just did that. That was great. So, so funny.
Play of the game.
God, that was great. So I'll probably do one more, and then I'll finish my story. So Iago takes the rope that is he has his hands bound and his legs bound, and he's laughing because he's giggling. So he's giggling through his teeth, so it sounds like he's gasping for air. And the seamstress is like, haha, I won, and there's big rounds of applause, and everybody think he's won. And by the way, he didn't actually bound his arms to his legs. So what Iago does is Iago swings his arms in front like above him, and just takes out the seamstress's leg, and it buckles, and he falls face first onto his chest.
Select your hero.
And then Iago, with his giant fists, just smack his face into his own chest. And knocks him out cold. And then he rolls over, takes off his bindings off his hands and his feet. Lifts up the seamstress with his shiny cape, and just tosses him into the pit of bamboo spikes. So 2 down. Everybody's legit scared. People are wanting to leave because they're fearing for their lives and their homes, and people sitting at home are packing up, making flight plans to get as far away from Guatemala as possible. Oh, where was it? I just wish I would fucking know that I was poisoned. I didn't even, like she coughed, I coughed on her screen, but I didn't cough myself. The fuck? Whoa there. So he takes off all his bindings, and he laughs even harder than he was when he was being tickled. Take out their fucking healer, and you can't take anybody else out.
My ultimate ability is on.
Fucking A.
Back in the fight.
Dude, come on. What's your fucking name?
No one can hide from my sight.
Oh, you only play McCree. Okay, I will give you that. Okay. I would love for somebody to tell me why the fuck I dashed there. Did you see that? Ah, come on, dude. This is why I don't play ranked. I died of stupid shit.
Guess they haven't had enough.
Best round lost.
So anyways, so everybody's worried and the Prime Minister is starting to sweat, but he's got his secret weapon. He saved the best for last, of course, and so he goes, okay, here we go. And so out comes this American cowboy. Full-on rancher. Boots. Spurs.
5, 4, 3,
Nice tan.
1. Round.
Queen of England is a little wooed by it. Sitting there going, oh, there's actual competition. My day. I don't. In LAN, that would have worked. Dude. I don't know if he's just lucky or what. When he does hit me, he gets headshots.
No one can hide from my sight.
I'm doing fucking terrible, but.
Back in the fight.
Ha! You fucking gotta be kidding, man. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Go cheat somewhere else, you twat. So anyways.
Group up with me.
Fucking A, that's not what I meant to do. So this American cowboy That was almost in my favor. Yeah, he is. He is cheating. Because watch. Like, why would you roll? There's no reason to roll. He does that every time he gets a headshot. He has to be cheating. Unless that's just what he does. That's fucking weird. That could be a defense mechanism.
Help would be appreciated.
What? Okay. Oh, he got hacked after I died.
Play of the game.
This cheating bitch. Borderline fucking cheater. Those are all headshots. Yeah, I'm fucking cheating. Yeah, report.
Excellent.
Sorry. I had to. It's just too... Yeah, it was just too weird. So anyways, like, I understand that he's just a McCree player, but to be completely honest, if he can play like that in any of his placements, or sorry, in any of his fuck, whatever. Anyways, so let me finish my story. So the American comes out to fight the Croatian Tahitian bodybuilder, and he has spurs, and he has a pistol. He has a 6-shooter, classic, like McCree almost. And the guy, Iago, looks at him warily and tilts his head and goes, "Better not be using that." The American goes, "Won't be needing it." Oh, okay. So Iago gets on all fours and braces himself and gets ready to charge, and all the American has is a his lasso, and he actually has a whip as well. He has a horse whip in one hand and a lasso on his waist, and not a bullwhip, a horsewhip. Difference. Look it up. Google it. And so, so Iago decides to take the initiative and attack first. And the American just chuckles. He's okay. So that was actually good, and he hated me for that. I shouldn't agree. And so he laughs and pulls out his horse whip, and as Iago's charging at him, he ooh, that was neat. He gets so close. Iago gets so close before before the American named Johnny Cowboy, before Johnny actually reacts, and Johnny, while dashing to the side, horse whips the Iago's face on the cheek. As he dashes to the side. He doesn't roll. He just does a nice little dash because this big lunkin thing is coming at him like a normal bull. So what do? You dash to the side. Normal thing you do for a bull, right? So he dashes to the side, smacks him in the face with the horsewhip. Now, if you look up a horsewhips are fucking mean, son of a bitch, right? Of course, bullwhips are a little scarier, but horsewhips, pack a punch, right? Oh, yeah. So horsewhips pack a punch, and so they disorient him, so much so that he just continues on and just smashes into the bamboo wall on the other side and goes through it, and into the lobby, and falls, I guess in this case, head over, not head over heels, but head over arms, and tumbles to a stop, and is like dazed and confused at what just happened, and he like feels his face, and the right side of his face is numb, and he's like, what the fuck? He goes, okay, that just happened. So he's like, whatever, and everybody's oohing and awing, and so Iago comes back out and gets on all fours. He's like, nice trick. And Johnny goes, ain't no trick, buddy. So Iago rears up, scratches the ground like a fucking bull, and charges again. This time he dodges. Iago himself like runs a little to the left and a little to the right. Of course, like zigzags a little bit towards him. So it's a little, harder to hit and miss, and the cowboy once again at last second whips Iago on the top of the head, but Johnny literally dives up and over Iago and smacks him on top of the head with the whip, or actually whips his head. And Johnny rolls. Johnny rolls and hops back up on his feet as Iago once again, because he got hit in the back of the head, totally disorients him and gives him a slight concussion, and puts his head into the ground, because he got hit in the back of the head. So his head actually goes into the ground, and he does a couple flips end over end and into the other side of the wall and through it and into the lobby again, because it's around Coliseum. The lobby goes all the way around, and so he's like, fuck. So and now because the bamboo is dry, he's got splinters and gashes all over his body, and he's disoriented, and he's a little confused, and he's like, this ends now, as he walks back out into the arena, Coliseum, fuck it. And so, by the way, guess what? I got this one, and I got that one, and I got that one. Oh yeah, I am not a widow main. And yeah, so Iago's like, this ends now, and he stays. He poses a couple times for his muscles, show everybody what he's made of, and the cowboy just laughs, chuckles a little bit. He's like, "Gotta be kidding me!" All confident, boasting, and so Iago, instead of getting all fours, he just runs at full speed, charges forward, arms out, actually arms at the ready to like swing a punch or just tackle, Iago doesn't fucking care. Still weaving back and forth a little bit, trying to make his movement not so predictable, and Johnny thinks about it for a second, stands there and keeps standing there, and then he pulls the oldest trick in the book. It's quite dirty trick, but he notices that because Iago was trying to be a bull, Iago has very, very scarce clothing on, so he can move about and his muscles are showing and all that stuff. So as he runs, Johnny, at the last second, drops to the ground on his back, almost into a slide. He runs a little bit into a slide to try and slide underneath Iago, but while he does so, as he slides under Iago, as Iago realizes what's happening, he puts his legs out. He like spreads his legs to like try and halt himself, because he's like, oh, I'm not and he watches Johnny slide through him underneath his legs, and Johnny with his whip whips the Iago's balls right in the sack. By the way, that would pretty much almost castrate you. So Iago winces in pain, and he ends up stumbling instead of slowing down, and instead goes headfirst into once again into the side of the wall, bashes straight through it, tumbles, rolls, splinters, gouges, everything, you name it. At this point, Iago is severely beaten up. His balls hurt, his head hurts, everything hurts. So he comes out slightly gasping. A couple bamboo shoots are punctured into his legs and his arms, but he's pulling them out, and he's tired, mostly because of pain, and he's just like panting, and he's just pissed. And so he yells and takes one last charge, hoping and praying that he has enough strength to actually make it. And the queen is crying at this point, partially out of Iago losing, but partially out of getting a new man out of it, American cowboy. And so so last charge, and at this point, Johnny the cowboy has stationed himself close to somewhat near the pit where the Burmese guy? Seamstress. Where the seamstress died in the pit of spikes. And knowing that he's not going to probably be able to get him inside there, but we'll see what happens. And Iago decides to make a nice winding turn, so that he comes at Johnny from the side instead of straight at him, so that if he does this, he doesn't go careening into the side of the wall anymore. And so he runs to the side around him a little bit in like an arc. Johnny just stays still, except as this time Johnny gets his lasso out, and Johnny's like, "Okay, this is it. I'm done with your semantics." So Johnny readies his lasso. Alright. There's two ways to lasso, guys. What happens when you lasso? You usually go around the neck like the one guy did, right? Nah, not Johnny's style. What you don't know is Johnny's not from Texas. No. Johnny's from Louisiana. Johnny's a cowboy. He ain't just a cowboy. He's a pig wrestler. What happens when you lasso pigs? You don't put it around the pig's neck. So Iago's running towards him. Thinks he got him, because he knows that he's ready. He's ready for anything. He has one arm down to catch him if he slides. He has one arm up to catch him if he jumps. And if he dodges side to side, it's okay, because he'll just continue on. Okay? Johnny takes his lasso. And once again, easy dodge, right? However, Johnny has his lasso out. Johnny then lassos Iago's foot and trips him. But not only trips him, but pulls him in such a way that he actually goes flying to one side. And with that trajectory, Mr. Cowboy is actually a little bit stronger than the others were. So he's actually able to keep that trajectory going and swing him around at least a little bit and aim him and toss him by his foot and swing him around and throw him and release. And there he goes flying across the Coliseum. And he hits the ground. But he goes through the ground. Why did he go through the ground? Oh, it's a Coliseum. Which means everything's symmetrical. Which means he's standing next to a pit. So if he's standing next to a pit, he was hoping and banking and gambled on, because he's a cowboy, on a pit being on the other side. Let's just say that Iago did not survive his fall into the ground, because the ground shattered into another pit of bamboo shoots, of course. Iago is dead. The Queen of England, in distraught, goes up to the Prime Minister, slaps the Prime Minister, kisses the Prime Minister, and says, "How dare you?" The Prime Minister is happy. In a lot of ways. He doesn't give two shits about the slap. And the crowd goes wild. Roses get thrown over. Roses get thrown at the cowboy's feet. The cowboy looks up at the queen, winks at her. Queen faints. Prime Minister says thank you. The world is a better place now. Picks up the Queen of England, walks out. Johnny the cowboy bows, walks over to the pit where Iago is dead. Looks in the pit. Iago's body is gone. With no blood trail. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry I didn't do any placements. Maybe I'll do it next time. And with less story time, more actual playing. So thank you. Love you. Brought to you by Burmese overcoats. They're fluffy. They're white. They're brown. They could be any color you want. They're a little itchy, but they'll make a good fashion statement. Good night.